According to news reports, some contestants from Netflix's newest game show, Squid Game, The Challenge, are threatening to sue because of the conditions they were forced to endure while filming the show. A lawyer for some of the contestants has come forward and mentioned that his clients witnessed contestants fainting, people shouting for medics, complaints of hypothermia, and one contestant even had his hands turn purple from the cold, which is something that could happen to Mason if he doesn't lose weight, and a lot, and quick.
All right, I don't like that.
It's bad enough that he's already down a foot.
Down a foot? What does that even mean?
I blame it on Connor. But
like I'm diabetic. Golly.
But isn't it the point of these types of shows to eliminate players by creating an uncomfortable environment? I mean, this game show is literally based on a fictional show where the contestants are murdered if they lose a challenge. Didn't these players know what they were getting into? As many of you know, my day job is running my own law firm, which primarily focuses on catastrophic personal injury and high-stakes litigation. Click the link below if you need a lawyer. You like that plug?
It just looks like you just woke up.
But let's review this case as if I was considering taking it on at my law firm. At the end of the video, I will tell you whether or not I think this is a good case. When evaluating a case, there are three things that you need to make it successful: liability, damages, and pockets to pay. Liability means that the injury can't be your fault. There are some exceptions like workers' compensation, but that doesn't apply here. The only remedy provided under the law is money damages. If you're not inconvenienced in any way, there's no point in suing, and pockets to pay is simple. If you get your arm chopped off by somebody who only has $10, well, losing your arm is worth $10. Here, we all know Netflix has pockets to pay, so we're not going to really focus on that. We're going to primarily focus on the liability and damages portion of this issue. With respect to liability, obviously Netflix was not intentionally trying to injure these contestants, so any lawsuit would be a negligence claim. Here, negligence means what a reasonably prudent company would do in the same or similar circumstance. Is it reasonable to have your contestants out in the cold for hours without the right gear? However, in most cases like this, I would assume that a company as sophisticated as Netflix would have some sort of liability waiver. For anyone who might be unaware, the purpose of a liability waiver in the context of a game show is so that the show organizers can limit their own legal responsibility by ensuring the participants understand and voluntarily assume the inherent risks associated with the game show. This document typically outlines the nature of the activities involved and the show's participants' acknowledgement that they are willingly taking part in the game show despite the potentially dangerous activities. While a liability waiver provides a layer of protection, its effectiveness may depend on the specific legal nuance of the jurisdiction and the thoroughness of the waiver drafting. Here, I would want to know if the liability waiver expressly stated that the contestants would be subject to the cold for a long duration of time. But we don't know that because we weren't there. And in a twist that I'm sure the Netflix legal team will love, I have Thomas Nguyen, a contestant on Squid Game's The Challenge, to talk about his experience. Thomas, how are you?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, so Thomas, tell us about your experience with Squid Games, starting with, did you have to sign a liability waiver?
Yes, we signed a bunch of paperwork. Specifically, I remember signing a liability waiver as expected.
And this was filmed not in the United States, but in the UK, correct?
Yes, filmed in London.
Okay. What were you expecting by being a contestant?
I mean, my expectation was, it's $4.56 million. Obviously, we're not dying on the show. I expected it to be in uncomfortable environments, situations. I don't remember the language specifically in the liability waiver, but I do remember reading it, and it did say, hey, there may be an expectation of being uncomfortable.
Looking at the articles and the social medias of the people who are posting, it appears that most people really had an issue with the first challenge, which is the red light, green light. Can you explain where y'all were, what the conditions were like for that?
Yeah, we filmed red light, green light in an airport hangar somewhere in London. It was really cold that day, but we were prepared with, we had a jumpsuit, we had our kids, our shoes, we had 2 pairs of socks, we had thermal underwear underneath as well.
Sure.
Still cold, but
so you have a base layer of thermal gear plus a tracksuit on top and 2 pairs of socks. And when you say how cold, are we talking about 50 degrees, 30 degrees, 20 degrees?
I don't know exactly how cold. It was really cold.
Okay. And how long did this game last? That seems to be a big issue with the contestants online who are complaining.
Right. So my game, I don't know exactly. I was told I was one of the first people to cross as well. But my game was about 4.5 hours.
And you were one of the first people to cross.
Yeah, I was in the first group.
4.5 hours.
4.5 hours.
And why did it take so long?
Well, a lot of it just had to do with shooting. And they told us right when we started the game, like, hey, guys, like, prepare to hold your position as part of the game. It may take some time, may take up to 20, 30 minutes. And during that time, they'd have all their cameras running and, cameramen running around getting all the shots. And so, it made the game difficult. We knew it was going to be difficult. We just didn't know how they're going to do it. Obviously, again, we're not dying. And it's a big prize money. And they had to eliminate a large number of people to get into the dorms. And so we all knew that. And so I didn't think it was going to be that long, but we knew it was going to be difficult.
So what happens if somebody got too uncomfortable? What were the resources available?
If there's people all around us at all times. So and we were supposed to raise our hand and yell medic if we were in trouble or too uncomfortable or frankly just didn't want to continue. And a lot of people did that. Right off the bat, the first time we stopped, I heard a lot of people yell medic and a lot of people just walk off because this is not what they signed up for. And I was like, well, good for them, but I don't know what they expected coming on the show,
Yeah, $4.5 million, and you're gonna leave in the first 20. Oh, was that the first game?
First game, yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, if you called medic, you were kicked off the game.
Yes, if you call medic, they went in as part of the game and kind of like carried you out.
Okay. What is your response to the contestants who are online complaining about the conditions?
I think it's the dumbest thing ever. It's really a joke for them to think that there's any case whatsoever. Was the game difficult in red light, green light? 100%. I was a sufferfest, right? But it's also, a lot of things are sufferfest. If you run a marathon, it's a sufferfest.
Mason, what's running a marathon like?
Okay. We didn't have to get into that. I actually, I watched a video on it recently, and it seems pretty hard. It doesn't seem easy, but you didn't have to be mean to me. Okay.
I just thought you ran marathons.
No, especially because me and Thomas are actually friends now. Okay. Yeah.
All right. You're ganging up on me.
But look, at no time did I feel like it was unsafe. Was it uncomfortable? Absolutely. Right. But I could have, you could quit at any time. Right. And they made it very easy to do so. It's not like we were locked in some chamber and they just bounced. Yeah.
Right.
It was all there.
In your mind, do you think Netflix or I guess the sub-producers, I don't know if it was an independent company, do you feel like they were acting as a reasonably prudent producer would be in the same or similar circumstance? Do you think, for instance, if the show was filmed by Hulu, do you think any recommendations on to make it safer or to make it,
honestly, I don't know what people would expect, but from a company like Netflix, I got everything I expected. Our hands were held from the time that we left my house to the airport to...
Did they have someone pick you up at your house?
Yeah. They had someone pick me up from, picked us from the house, made sure we didn't get lost. There's, psychologists.
Must be nice to have, a company that cares about your well-being and stuff.
They wanted to make sure we got there in one piece.
Yeah.
The worst thing about the experience, probably the food in the UK, but, that's not Netflix's fault.
Yeah, that's a systemic problem.
It's just bland food.
The other issue that a lot of the contestants are complaining about on social media is you survive the cold, meaning you get into the dorms, right? Did they provide the basic necessities in these dorms?
Yeah, basic necessities. Soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant. That was nice. They did the laundry for us every day in terms of our thermal and our undies. We had to keep our same tracksuit on.
There was
the whole time.
There were some other necessities that we heard about.
Yeah.
What about the condoms?
There were condoms there. I don't know why.
Can you say that with a not weird face next time?
Okay.
Which actually turned out to be really useful because a lot of people ended up using it, myself included, as we use a lubricant out of desperation just to keep our lips from not.
Are you still keeping up with that procedure? Lips look good.
I got I know, thanks. I have regular chapstick now, so don't have to bust open a condom.
So wait, go into that. Why did you have to use condoms to lubricate your lips? I
They didn't have chapstick.
And it was cold?
Yeah, it was cold.
Okay. Were your sleeping conditions cold?
No, I mean, like the
Or
room
is it just
itself
from
was
being
cold.
out in the red light, green light for 5 hours?
I think being out in the cold and just not having. I mean, I use chapstick even in Houston, and it's humid. Some people just had dry lips the whole time.
Okay, so wrapping up the liability portion, the personal injury lawyer in me could see a potential situation in which forcing individuals to maintain stressful positions for a long period of time could in fact be negligent. However, you told us that there was a liability waiver that probably protects Netflix. And moving on to the damages portion, it's your opinion that even if there was liability, those damages should be mitigated because the contestants could leave at any time. Am I missing something?
No, I mean, and that's true. And let's not forget. I mean, if they were hurting or somebody was in trouble, I mean, they could have just quit. Like if they really wanted to win the game, they kept forcing it. I mean, if you run a marathon and you break your leg and you keep running on it, of course it's going to cause like more of a permanent damage. Yeah. As if you were just stopped in the first place. Which I mean, I really don't see a basis for this complaint. It's really stupid.
Yeah. So just back to the damages portion, then just a hypothetical because we're talking about the workforce. Like if the golf simulator in somebody's office and the Nespresso machine are down, and you used to like really have like this morning routine where you loved like getting your Nespresso, hitting a couple shots.
You guys have a golf simulator?
Well, this is a hypothetical, Thomas. Let's not get into like who has a golf simulator.
That's crazy.
But if that's broken, would I be entitled to any sort of damage?
No, you should be thankful that you work at a place that has a golf simulator and espresso machine.
Okay. And it's again hypothetical. We'll talk about that later.
It is a hypothetical because the golf simulator works. 150 yards. Thomas Nguyen, 9 iron. He's down by 1.
Hopefully it's not an umbrella.
Needs it close.
Oh, he clipped it. He clipped it.
What do we got? Ooh, in the rough. Not good.
Okay, well, this is really unfortunate because I wanted to make this video and just basically say we could sue the shit out of Netflix because they kicked me off my mom's account, finally. And I'm pissed. So, as retaliation, I'm going to ask you questions that I'm sure the legal department is not going to like. Who wins Squid Game?
I have no idea.
Are you lying?
No, I'm not. Still don't know. I think the finale airs next week, so if you want to find out, tune in.
Thomas looks.
$10 spots, everything, but
Yeah, I mean,
Good.
I don't know. I don't know if it's any indication, but Thomas drove here in a Bugatti.
Real quick, I want to get your take. I mean, as someone who's in good shape, did the show, pretty kept up. How do you think Tom would have done if he had to do the challenge? Just knowing him for 15 minutes.
I think he would have done it well because he would have been really well liked. I think he would have been.
I'm quick. I definitely would have got past red light, green light for sure.
People would have like gravitated towards. I mean, part of the game is just like your ability to connect with other people and be well.
Is that why they gave you all a bunch of condoms?
I don't know why they gave so much content.
What'd you do it again? Did you have fun?
Yes, absolutely. One of the best experiences of my life. It was.
Did Netflix pay you to say that?
I didn't. The funny thing is they laughed at me because before, when you check in and before you leave, and then afterwards they would call you after we left every 4 months, hey, we're just checking in, seeing if you're okay, and I'm
See if you hired a lawyer.
I guess and I'm like, seriously, guys, I don't know whatever else people were telling you about. I have 0 complaints. I mean, probably the worst thing was the food.
Did you eat bad food at Netflix? Squid Game 855 Tom wins. We'll sue him.
If it wasn't for that umbrella, would we?
Would you have got?
I would have won.
You would have won.
Yeah. I feel good about my chances of the rest of the games.
So if they do it like a Bachelor in Paradise thing, they bring you back second seat. You think
I would have done well. No question.
You think we could set them up for some lawsuit?
I don't know about that.
He's in too good a shape for a lawsuit, dude.
Thanks.
All right. Well, that's it for today's video. Thomas, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Go watch Squid Games. If you found this video interesting, go watch our previous video. It's about a company who has filed over a dozen lawsuits against others who have used a meme. The lawsuit's over a meme. Go check it out.